Hola, buenos dias from beautiful Cabo San Lucas, Mexico. Jeff and Sam here, back to you on another training topic. And Cabo's a special place to us. We've been coming here from years as we have a property down here. It's where we got married. And this training topic came up for us that was really important for us to be able to give back to those that are listening on here. And that is two main questions that Sam and I get asked constantly that really tie to this topic. The first question is, how do we hustle so hard? And what that means is, how do we continue to hustle without burning out and really continuing to give back to people and be successful in what we do? And number two is, how do we get to travel to these amazing places and take time off and enjoy them with that hustle that's going on?
Yep.
And that ties to this topic of sprint and recharge season. And today what we're gonna jump into is really three topics on how to make this successful. The first being, what is sprint and recharge season? Two being, why is it important?
Yep.
And three, how do you get some tips to be able to set it up successfully? So the understanding of what it is, it's really in the name. It's all about setting sprint seasons, understanding the cycle in which you're trying to get your goals accomplished, that you're gonna put your head down, you're gonna run and run and run and do what is necessary to hit your goals and be successful in what you're trying to accomplish. The other side of that is now you get to relax, recharge, and reset. You're gonna step away from that sprint season. You're gonna take time away from your business, time away from your career to reset, understand what you're trying to accomplish next, and spend time with your family, your friends, and just a little bit off the grid to be ready to go back into that next sprint season. So babe, why don't you talk us through a little bit about why this is so important?
I think the why is actually the most important part of this topic, just because why are you going to set up sprint and rest, or how he calls it, just reset and rejuvenate seasons, if there's not a purpose behind it? So the first thing is you cannot continue to run in your corporate job or your business job or the business that you own, because you're just gonna get burnt out. And trust me when I tell you, I have been there so many times. I had to go through multiple therapy sessions and life coaching to realizing that there's a balance with sprinting and resting. We're gonna hit some construction coming up here, so we apologize if it gets a little noisy in a second. So the why is, well, what if you could go really, really hard for a few weeks or a quarter and then know that you have a reward at the end to rest and have family time? This is also important for your family, your children, your significant other, to know your cycles of sprint and rest, because it's gonna help with the work-life balance. It's gonna help with you working to live instead of living to work, which is something that we really like to coach on, because constantly people work, and never actually enjoy life. So the why behind it is because, one, you can't always run, you're gonna burn out, and when you burn out, you ultimately fail at your career and what you do, because you can't give all your energy, right? You're burning the candle at all ends, where it's gonna get super just thinned out, watered down, where you can't put all your energy and effort into your purpose of your work. And guess what? When you put a lot of energy and effort into the purpose of your work, what's gonna happen is you're gonna be massively 10x more successful than you would be if you're kind of halfway in, because you're burning yourself out. So what Jeff and I like to do is we like to pick our why seasons. Why we wanna work a little bit harder right now to have more later. We also like to call it living uncomfortable now to be comfortable later. So for example, we're really looking to start a family soon, and we wanna purchase a dream home. And so we've decided that right now is gonna be our sprint cycles, but in between our 6 to 8 weeks of sprinting nonstop, getting new business, mentoring, coaching, traveling, even a part where we don't see each other, we're gonna have those rests set up like Cabo, where we can enjoy each other, relax, reset, and then go right back into the sprint again, because it's our season to purchase a home in California, and it's our season to soon start a family. I hope that makes sense. So babe, what does that look like with the plan? Like, how do we set this up mentally and also physically?
So this is the important part. Now, how do we put this into action? And the first thing that you have to know is, one, yourself, your circumstances, and your surrounding. And what I mean by that is, how long can you successfully sprint for? Can you put your head down before you start to burn out? Because that's gonna dictate what these periods look like. Good. The next piece you have to understand is what are your circumstances or your surrounding? If you have kids, if you have family, if you have a certain career, if you own a certain business, there's going to be some stipulations around that regarding maybe we have cycles in our business, or we have peak seasons or busy seasons that we have to be able to schedule that around.
Economic seasons of the world.
Absolutely. And what Sam and I have found out is for us, we have about 12 weeks, right? Just about 3 months where we can really put our heads down and hustle. And when I say hustle, I mean there are certain days that Sam and I necessarily don't even see each other until we're putting our head on the pillow at night and going through it. And that's a part of it. But what we're able to do, and we align this, if you heard me say earlier, 12 weeks, 3 months, which really aligns to business quarters. And what that looks like for us is we commit 3 months at a time that we are going to put our heads down. We're setting our goals ahead of time, or what are we going to accomplish in these next 3 months? What are we going to get done in our business? What revenue numbers are we going to hit? What promotions are we going to have? How many of these videos are we going to shoot? And be able to say, this is our goal for the next predefined period, which for us is 1 quarter or 12 weeks. Then, before we get into it, before we put our heads down, we're gonna set what the reward is, the recharge. What is it at the end of that period that are we gonna celebrate and be able to disconnect, relax, recharge, and put our head back in the game?
That really motivates us. What motivates you? Set that reward, right?
Absolutely. So in this case right here, this is a great example of where we're at right now. Is we've been heads down for the last 3 months, being able to focus on what our goals are. And the end of that was we get this beautiful Cabo vacation where we're going to be off the grid for 8 days, spending it with my family, walking around, golfing, being in the ocean, swimming. And we know that during this time period while we're out, we are recharging. We're taking care of things that are necessary, but we're not on normal meetings. We're not answering emails 24/7, but we take the day to enjoy it and to relax. And tell you what, when we're done with this trip right here, part of what we're gonna be doing is designing our next period, our next season. What does the next 12 weeks or 3 months of our hustle look like? And then what are we going to reward ourselves with, or how are we going to recharge and relax at the end of that?
Yeah, so here's your takeaway, right, guys? What does a sprint and rest cycle look like for you? The current positions you're in, maybe the businesses you own, your family life. Also, why? Why is it so important for you that you set these things up? And the third thing is, how does that look for your micro and your macro goals? What your sprint looks like for revenue, for maybe, growing in your current position in your corporate job or your sales cycle, and then what those rests, those rewards look like. So I want you to sit back and ask yourself, get with your significant other or, personally, and just think, let me try this new rest and sprint cycle for the remainder of this year, or just for the next couple of months or the next couple of quarters that you have in front of you, and see how it pans out, because all it is a guess and check cycle. I mean, it's taken us years to come to conclusion of what works for our family. So what works for yours?
And it's key what Sam just said there about making sure your family, your friends, whoever you're going to be doing this journey with is on board with you. So communicating and aligning on it and saying, we're going into a sprint season. This is what it looks like. Here's what I'm going to need from you. Here's how we have to communicate. And at the end, here's the reward. Here's the reset. Here's the recharge that we get it to.
Yeah. The little bonus tip I'll just say there too is if you have children, we don't have them yet, but we mentor a lot of parents right now, and you want to include the children in this. So when they know mommy and daddy are going behind the door in the office, it's sprint season because we're fighting to go to Disney World together, or we're fighting to have mommy and daddy around for a few days to go to the beach, or just to have a rest period at home. But make sure the kids are included in the goals because they will also help you achieve them. Trust me, I've seen it done. So this is The House Always Wins. Make sure you like, subscribe, and share this channel and follow along for the next episode, because we're here to give you free mindset, mentorship, and help your family make moves too.
Catch you on the next one.